is also holding many leadership positions in ISKCON. He is the Director of Communication and Education for ISKCON New Jersey in the Tobacco Temple. He's leading the council for fundraising for the new temple that is coming up in Parsippany, which is going to be one of the biggest temples in Northeast America. And Prabhuji also holds many interfaith programs, many japa retreats. I'm a very big fan of your japa retreats, Prabhu. I recently watched the one you had in upstate New York. He's a very big fan of the japa retreat. And student college preaching, Sunday school teaching, and Prabhuji has also wrote and directed many dramas. So it is definitely, when I came across Prabhuji and I started listening to his lectures, it was like, yes, Prabhuji is an example of how to be in the world but not be off the world. How to catch a fish without getting wet. So Prabhuji is a perfect example of that. And we are celebrating the theme of Ramayana today. We are celebrating the theme of Ramayana, how to practice integrity in the world of chaos. And we are going to learn the lessons from Ramayana. So therefore, let's welcome Srila Madana-gopāla Prabhuji by loudly chanting 3 times, Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
Thank you very much, Bhakti Prabhu, and thank you all for such a wonderful welcome, all the devotees here. So you're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I was requested to talk on some insights from the Ramayana. And this is a topic that the devotees selected, how to live with integrity in the complicated world. So it's especially meaningful that we're speaking on this topic here in Brooklyn, New York City. This is where something spiritually historic in this city happened. 60 years ago, 1966, 2026. This is where Srila Prabhupada planted the seed of ISKCON in the modern world of Krishna consciousness. 1966, with practically no institutional support, no financial backing, and no worldly guarantee of success. He stood on one thing, integrity. And that's what we're going to talk about today. He stood on fidelity. Fidelity to Guru, Shastra, and Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. Srila Prabhupada did not dilute the message to make it fashionable. Back then, quite a few gurus were coming and they were trying to see what people will want to hear and they would give them that. Prabhupada was not like that. He didn't change the goal to gain approval. He didn't compromise the essence in order to fit the spirit of the age. And he brought the holy name, he brought Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the life of devotion exactly as he had received them. That is called integrity. And so in this year, 2026, when we celebrate 60 years, it's 60 years of kirtan in the streets. Kirtan of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Not something changed to suit the tastes of the world. It's the same mantra that we're singing, we were doing 60 years ago, and hundreds of years ago also, happening right here. 60 years of prasadam distribution. Books, Srila Prabhupada. Temple, 60 years of transformed lives. And generations, 60 years is multiple generations. It's not one generation. Generations of souls receiving a chance to reconnect with Krishna. Notice I don't say connect with Krishna. Reconnect. Because that's where we belong. And it's beautiful that the Brooklyn Temple is taking a leading role in preparing a grand gala event on the weekend of July 31st. We should be aware of that, to celebrate the 60 years, a huge program. It's not just an anniversary event, it's a reminder this year, that event. It's a reminder that we are inheritors. We are inheritors of a movement born in courage, in purity, and spiritual conviction. So tonight, as we speak about living with integrity in a complicated world, let's remember that this is not an abstract virtue, this integrity. It is part of our lineage. It's built into the very DNA of ISKCON. And when we turn to the Ramayana, we're not just reading ancient history. We're standing before timeless examples of what it looks like to hold truth when life becomes costly, when life becomes confusing and morally complicated. It's going to happen. It's not going to be very clear all the time what to do, what not to do. We will be challenged. Our integrity will be challenged. When we say the world is complicated, we do not only mean that it's busy, running around like this. We mean that it constantly pressures us to separate appearance from reality. A person can look very polished, sound polished, and feel hollow inside. A person can sound spiritual and still be inwardly divided. A person can be successful in public and quietly compromised in private. For young professionals and college students like yourselves, this pressure is intense. You are forming identity in an atmosphere. It's filled with comparison, ambition, social performance, romantic confusion, digital distraction. All this is going to happen. And FOMO, fear of missing out. You feel that? Oh, I want everything. And you're often expected to appear confident. Why are you walking like this? No, be confident. Before you've even fully decided who you are. What is the value of that confidence? Yes, we want to be confident. But as confidence has to be reposed in a thorough understanding of our identity. And for practicing devotees, the challenge can be even more subtle. One can be religious externally while remaining inwardly fragmented. It's very possible. One can know the language of devotion, the etiquette of devotion, even the social culture of devotion, while still avoiding honest self-examination, which is needed every single day. So I'm talking to practicing devotees, as well as working professionals, as well as students. I think that's pretty much everybody in this room. That is why this topic matters. Integrity is not an old-fashioned ornament that you find in an antique store. It is the inner glue of the soul that keeps you together. Without integrity, life becomes theatrical. With it, even a difficult life becomes spiritually powerful. That's why integrity matters. But what is integrity? Integrity means wholeness. It means that my values, my speech, my decisions, and my hidden life are not at war with each other. The opposite of integrity is not merely dishonesty in the narrow sense. The opposite of integrity is inner fracture. It is when one part of me knows the truth and another part of me negotiates with it. And a third part tries to maintain a respectable image while the inside is drifting. You understand what I'm saying? Integrity does not mean that we never struggle. It doesn't mean that we don't feel conflicted. That's perfectly fine. It does not mean we instantly become pure. That's not it either. Integrity simply means this. Means we refuse to make peace with duplicity. I'll have no tolerance for duplicity. I'm not perfect, I'm not pure, I'm not fully knowledgeable, but one thing that I'll never tolerate in my heart is duplicity. It means we want to become one person before God. That when we come before God, we don't need to collect all our different personalities and kind of hide some of them away. This is especially important in bhakti. Because bhakti is a path of sincerity. Anybody know what this word sincere means? What does it mean? You want to define the word sincere in a few words? Or in a word or two? Sincere.
Regular.
Regular, yes. Sincere.
No reservations.
No reservations. Looking for something a little more specific, that's not bad. Yes.
No compromises.
No compromises, very good. That's coming closer. Sincere, I'll tell you where it comes from. It comes from Latin. Cera, C-E-R-A, means wax. Okay, wax, like candle wax. And sin in Latin means without. Sincera means without wax. Now, in Italy, back in the day of Michelangelo, when these master sculptors, they used to buy these big chunks of marble. It was a big thing back then. All artists wanted to be, sculptors of marble, so they would buy chunks of marble. Now, sometimes there would be a chunk of marble and it will have a crack in it, small crack. And the marble vendors, they would fill it with white colored wax. So it looks like it's solid. Then they would sell it. But then there's some vendors who had more integrity. And they would advertise their shop as Sincera. In our shop, we have no wax. Means we're not hiding anything. If you see the crack, you'll see it. We won't hide the cracks. We won't put wax in it. That's where the word sincere comes from. We are not using wax to cover up our cracks. We are fully cognizant of our flaws. And we are not going to pretend that they don't exist. But we're going to work on them. If you pretend that they're not there, you won't work on them. That's why sincerity is so important. We have to be free from duplicity. You see. Bhakti is a path of sincerity. Krishna can purify weakness. Weakness is not a problem. Krishna will help. He can guide confusion. He can strengthen a struggling heart. But spiritual life becomes obstructed when we begin to protect false versions of ourselves. And we tend to become very good at it. So integrity is not perfection. Integrity is alignment. Alignment with what I believe, what I say, what I do, who I am when nobody's watching, everything is moving in the same direction. It means we refuse to make peace with duplicity, and we want to become one person before God. Now, why the Ramayana? The Ramayana is so powerful because it does not place integrity in a laboratory. Laboratory, depends how you want to say it. It places integrity in exile and palace intrigue and emotional pain, political crisis, moral complexity. You find all this in Ramayana. It shows us that dharma is glorious, but not always simple and straightforward. This is why the Ramayana remains perennially relevant. It doesn't merely tell us who the heroes are. It shows us what the heroes do when they're pressured by grief, by temptation, loyalty, fear, uncertainty. Their character is not revealed in comfort. It's revealed in crisis. Our character will be revealed in our crisis. Sometimes you don't know what kind of fruit it is until you put in the juicer. See what kind of juice comes out. Put orange, you get orange juice. Put onion, you get onion juice. What kind of fruit are you? We may not know until we put in the pressure. If we read the Ramayana carefully, we begin to see that integrity is not just one virtue among many different virtues. Integrity is actually the framework that holds all the other virtues together. That's why it's so important to talk about it. For example, courage, compassion, intelligence, these are all virtues. Courage without integrity becomes recklessness. Compassion without integrity becomes sentimentality. And intelligence without integrity becomes manipulation. Very smart. You have no integrity, you'll use your intelligence to manipulate other people, and you'll do very good at it. You'll see in the world, you'll see people trying to manipulate you. We don't want to join them. We want to be clear, honest, straightforward. But we should not fall into their traps either. We don't want to be naive. We want to maintain our innocence while not becoming naive. Remain smart. Use intelligence with integrity. When integrity is present, all other virtues become luminous. This is why we choose Ramayana. You get such beautiful examples of all these kind of stressful situations and how integrity shines forth. Integrity begins where comfort ends. Is anybody here not at all familiar with Ramayana? Like zero familiar? I think everybody has some idea. So I'm just going to assume you understand the story. Okay? Let's go to jump to this episode so you know what's going on by just looking at the picture. Ram's exile, you know the background, how he was exiled. It's one of the world's clearest illustrations of integrity. He's not removed because he failed. Did he fail in anything? He's not disgraced because he was unworthy. Was he unworthy? No. The best king ever. He loses the throne through manipulation and weakness of others. Yet in that painful moment, he does not let that injustice define his character. See, he had a legitimate claim to the throne. The whole public was on his side. If there was a vote, 100% vote he would have got. But he chose his principle over sense of entitlement. He had every right to be entitled. He did not become bitter either. He didn't stop smiling. It's a deep lesson for all of us. Many people can behave nobly when life is fair and going smooth. But when they're disappointed, when they're overlooked, when they're insulted, when they're deprived of something that they rightly expected, then what happens? Bitterness begins to bubble up and bitterness speaks. And then our ego dresses itself in the cloak of righteousness. Lord Ram does something extraordinary. He doesn't ask merely, what do I deserve? He asks always, what is right? And he willingly enters hardship rather than violate dharma. I think, wait a minute, he had every right to fight this thing. He always argued. But he wanted to let the dharma of the parents' wish override his. Father wants it, mother wants it, fine, no problem. That's it. There is also a dharma that he respected. He chose to respect. Even though it was grossly unfair, nobody else wanted it. In modern life, this applies everywhere. In academics, in career, in family tensions, spiritual communities, personal relationships. We'll all face moments when we are tempted to let the hurt feelings lower our character. Stressful situations bring out the worst in us. We will start saying words which we normally don't even use sometimes because it's so stressful. We can justify it, yeah. The situation is so bad, so I have to use bad words. No. Lord Ram teaches us that true nobility is not proven by success, it's proven by how we can carry our losses. The person of integrity asks, what is right at this time? Not only what do I deserve. This is not an unfair question. What do I deserve is a fair question. But something supersedes my deserving. What is right? Now, our Shiksha Guru, his name is Kalakanda Prabhu. Every time I ask him, Prabhuji, how are you? How are you doing? He said, I'm doing way better than I deserve. Every single time. That's such a nice attitude. So that's lesson number 1. Integrity begins where comfort ends. Lesson number 2. Bharat. Our second lesson comes from the brother Bharat. One of the most beautiful, underrated models of integrity in the entire epic. Think about the situation from his perspective. The kingdom is effectively being handed to him. He can tell himself, I did not ask for this. I did not plan this. It is simply what happened. That is exactly the kind of moment in which many people quietly accept what benefits them while pretending to be innocent. Isn't it? It's a golden opportunity. But Bharat does not do that. What does he do? He recognizes that some gains, even when they arrive wrapped in legitimacy, are spiritually poisonous. He refuses to enjoy what has come through an unfair thing that was done to somebody else. I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm sorry. It's done. What happened to my brother is unfair. I'm not going to now take the fruits of that and enjoy it. That is an extraordinary act of what you call moral clarity. Very clear. It's no question. His greatness is not only that he loves Ram, that is part of his greatness. Is that his greatness is really that he will not allow personal advantage to numb down his conscience. So like Bharat, person of integrity will refuse what your conscience cannot bless. Conscience is that inner voice that tells you this is not right. And we very often stifle our conscience, especially when it's very advantageous for us. So sometimes the test of integrity isn't suffering. The previous one was suffering. Sometimes it is opportunity. That's another test of integrity. An amazing opportunity. But what is the price? Conscience. What do I do when credit comes to me that I did not earn? Say I'm working, and someone says, oh, you did a fantastic project. Amazing. And then say, yeah, but the other fellow did it. You don't give him credit, you take it all for yourself. That's not right. This is not a small thing, this is a big thing. We're cracking our integrity little by little. The moment we drink these drops of poison. What do I do when someone else's downfall creates a space for my rise and I can step on his head and move up? What do I do when a shortcut becomes available and no one will know? It's not a fair shortcut. What do I do when spiritual service, influence, recognition becomes possible but through subtle compromises? These are all Bharat moments. Sometimes we feel this is an opportunity of a lifetime. So what if the conscience is a little bit uncomfortable? It's okay, we'll work it out later. We'll do some soul searching later. Right now, take the opportunity. That point is too late. Bharat teaches us that integrity is not merely the avoidance of obvious wrongdoing. It is the refusal of false advantage. It's willingness to say, even if I can keep this, even if others think it's acceptable, even if it benefits me, I don't want something that my conscience cannot peacefully bless. See, cannot bless. My conscience has to bless it. So he took Lord Ram's paduka. You see, he's embracing them here. And he put them on the throne as a powerful symbol of his integrity. He's saying, authority belongs elsewhere. The lotus feet of my brother Ram. I will serve those lotus feet, but I will not misappropriate what is not mine. So there's a deep spiritual beauty in doing that. You see, when we're in a world that's hungry for possession, we want to possess. Especially you're in America, you're in New York City. This is the capital of the capital. This is the epicenter of materialism. So that Prabhupada came here, it's the most important city. And this is known for its hyper greed, hypertrophy of possession. We are possessed to possess. And Bharat teaches not possession, he teaches stewardship. You know what stewardship? It's different from possession. We all have to recognize we don't possess anything. But we are stewards. We have been given certain resources for a certain amount of time. How we use those resources will determine our character. That is the difference between possessiveness and stewardship. Bharat shows that. You see, he says, no, this throne is not mine. I'm going to put the slippers of the Lord on the throne. The throne in our hearts. Am I sitting in that throne? Am I putting the slippers of the Lord? That's the key difference. We all have a throne in the heart. See? In a world hungry for self-advancement, Bharat teaches reverence. And we rationalize our bad choices, our greed. We rationalize it. He teaches purity of motive. Keep your motives pure. That's lesson number 2. Lesson number 2. Now lesson number 3. Our third lesson comes from the golden deer episode. All familiar with the golden deer episode? Yeah. Here the teaching becomes psychologically subtle. Now the point is not that there's deception. Deception exists. We all know it's there. The deeper point is that deception often enters through attraction. Sita Devi was attracted to the deer. Not everything that glitters is gold. So it comes in the form that appears beautiful, urgent, special, irresistible. Sometimes you feel that, oh, this is made for me. Somehow this is like, made for me. This is why this episode is so modern. We live in a culture built on engineered attraction. We constantly offer things that are glittering. What are these glittering things? An image, a status marker, a relationship fantasy, an identity, a lifestyle. These are all, a next step that appears to promise fulfillment. These are all things that are being offered to us on billboards, on pop-up ads, social media, this and that. So, The external form looks enchanting, of course. We know that. We're used to it. We see it every day. But the question of integrity is not that, do I want it? The question is this: what will this do to my clarity that I have right now? What will this do to my conscience eventually down the road if I follow it to its logical conclusion? What will this do to my relationships? And what will this do to my spiritual center? I'm just now beginning to try to understand my relationship with God. Will this bring me closer, or will this be a distraction? This is where we learn that sincerity alone is not enough. A sincere person can still be misled. Even someone who has no duplicity can be misled. This is a whole different thing. Sincerity was a different topic. Now we're talking about something else. Don't be misled. A loving person who is very genuine can still be emotionally pulled, manipulated. A practicing devotee can still be distracted. So what is required? Discernment. That's another key. This is the third lesson. Sincerity needs discernment. What is discernment? Discernment is the discipline of slowing down enough to see beyond the surface desire. Wait, hold on. Let's reevaluate. It's a discipline of slowing yourself down. When the mind is urging, let's do it right now. Discernment asks, very important question, why does this appear so attractive to me? What is being stirred in me right now? Is this truly good or merely glittering? We have to evaluate. For those of us who are students, the golden deer may take the form of social approval, romantic excitement, a curated online avatar, self, or the pressure to chase whatever makes one look impressive. These are our golden deers. This applies to professionals as well. And for practicing devotees, it may take subtle forms. Wanting to look advanced. Wanting visible service more than honest service. Wanting to be admired as spiritual rather than transformed by spiritual practice. It's okay to want it, but it shouldn't it shouldn't be the cause of your anxiety. It's okay to have a gentle desire to be acknowledged. It's okay, completely. Did you know that? It's okay. It's okay. But it should not cause you anxiety. If it causes you anxiety, I didn't get acknowledged, then there's a trouble zone. Anybody know Prabhupada, how he defines humility in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita? You should look it up. It's very precise. Yes. What did he say?
Not be anxious for
Getting recognition.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It's very precise. He said to not be anxious about being recognized or acknowledged. To have the desire is not the problem. You see, it's the anxiety that's the problem. It's very precise. If it goes in the realm of anxiety, then it dwells in your consciousness. But if you said, you forgot to announce my name, TK, you forget about it. It doesn't cause you anxiety. But if you lose sleep over it, that my name was not announced, then we need to work on ourselves. He defines humility very precise. Prabhupada's words are so precise. We should read them and memorize them. The purports, inside and out. This is so nice. These are our golden deer. And they're very graceful and they shine and we want to run after them. So the lesson of the golden deer is not simply be careful out there. No, it's deeper. It's deeper than that. It's this. Whenever something shines intensely right in front of you, then pause. Ask whether it's aligned with your deeper purpose. The loss of integrity rarely begins with a dramatic fall. it begins usually with fascination. Oh, fascinating. And then you want to look more. Amazing. Outstanding. Dhyayato vishayapam sangaseshu pajarayate. When you get fascinated, then your mind dwells on it. And then the chain reaction of things happen, which brings us down. Right? Fascination can become dangerous when it is not examined by conscience and by discernment. So this word discernment is very important. This is one of the pillars of our ongoing integrity. Always discern. Lesson number 4. Vibhishan. So, sometimes integrity means speaking truth inside a corrupt environment. Vibhishan decided to leave his brother, Ravana. The whole environment is corrupt. He said, I can't maintain my integrity and still stay here and stay in Lanka and be on my brother's side. Sometimes it means leaving that environment when the truth is no longer welcome. So the Vibhishan left Ravan and he took shelter of Lord Ram. Vibhishan first gave advice, you know that. He gave advice to Ravan. Brother, what are you doing? Return Sita Maya directly to Lord Ram and just ask for forgiveness. Maybe he'll spare you. What nonsense is this? Forget it. He's going to kill you otherwise. Gave good advice, but he gets humiliated by his brother. Then he chooses dharma over family loyalty. You know, it's really unfortunate. In many places in India, the people use the word Vibhishan in the context of negative. Yeah, you heard of that, right? Ye to Vibhishan nikla. Supposed to be a great thing, you know. If you seeing him as your Vibhishan, then who are you? Ravan. It's not nice to do that. It just became part of our culture. It's not nice. Kul drohi. If we have to serve Ram, then we'll do everything, including kul droh. So, loyalty is very good. But loyalty without conscience becomes complicity. You see this? And the price of integrity sometimes is your relationship. You may lose belonging in a certain group in order to keep your soul clear. And you think that was easy for Vibhishan to do? It wasn't. And when Vibhishan took shelter of Lord Ram, there's a very famous line that Lord Ram says. Does anyone know that? Sakrideva Prapanno. Yes, this line was quoted from Valmiki Ramayana by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita. What Lord Ram told Vibhishan was spoken by Mahaprabhu. And he said that Sakrideva Prapanno, yes, that if one even momentarily, even non-committally says, my Lord, I am yours, from that moment I make him mine, even if he's non-committal, and I give him abhaya, I give him fearlessness. Because you can imagine how much fear he must be feeling. He's left all the shelter of his brother. He doesn't know how Lord Ram will treat him. He has no idea. I mean, he's a devotee of Lord Ram. But maybe, the people around Lord Ram will kill him because, he's a brother of Ravan. And that they almost did, actually. When he started flying in, and Hanuman was like, Ravan's brother, gotta kill him. But Lord Ram gave him a fearlessness. And Lord Ram promises to all of us that even if you momentarily say, my Lord, I'm yours, you're mine, I'll give you fearlessness. And when you're fearless, that removes all your problems in the world. A lot of our problems come from insecurity, which come from fear. See? Lesson number 4. Our 5th lesson brings us to Hanuman. And here the subject of integrity reaches its most devotional form. Hanumanji is not merely a truthful character. He is an integrated character. He's an embodiment of integrity. Strength, intelligence, courage, humility, emotional power, and total devotion all converge in Hanuman. Nothing in Hanuman is wasted on self-display, to project some image. Nothing in him exists for private ego drama. He doesn't care how he looks. Have you seen in India, there's deities of Hanuman on the roadside, sometimes all red?
Yes.
And your story why it's red, right?
Yes.
It's very sweet. He puts his kumkum on himself because Sita Devi says, right? He asks, why you put this kumkum? She says, if I put kumkum, it means my husband, our Lord, our Nath, will live very long life. Oh, let me put it, give me some. He put all of himself. No, what are you doing? No, if a little bit gives him long life, then I put a lot. So sweet. He doesn't care how he looks. He just cares for the Lord. So sweet. Everything converges in him. Everything becomes available for service to Lord Ram. This is extremely important because many people imagine integrity in a very narrow and somewhat lifeless way. They imagine it as moral stiffness. His integrity means always like this, never smiles. No. It's not rule-based correctness. Hanumanji shatters that image. He's dynamic. He's brilliant. He's sweetly innocent. He brings a whole mountain. He's bold. He's warm. And he's astonishingly capable. Yet the center of his life is not himself. It is Ram. That is why his greatness does not fracture him. His capacities don't inflate him. His power doesn't make him theatrical. Sometimes he likes to be playful. He does playful things. When Bhim came, he put his tail on the way and he played with Bhim a little bit. In the Mahabharata. Bhim is his brother, by the way, if you know. Do you know that Bhim is Hanumanji's brother? They're both Pavan Putra. So, yes, he doesn't do a theatrical projection of his greatness. His devotion gathers his whole being in one current, just Lord Ram. So, that in a spiritual sense is the highest integrity. When the center of life is Krishna, or in this case, loving service to Lord Ram, then the scattered fragments of the self begin to come together. We are scattered because we want different things. We are not vyavasayatmika buddhi. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurnandana bahushakha hinantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. That those are resolute on this path. Their aim is one, O Kurnandana. Those who are irresolute have many branched. I want this goal, I want that goal, I want this, I want that, I want this. But with Hanumanji, it's only one thing. One track mind. And yet he was expert in everything. How is that possible? How can you be one track mind and be expert in everything? If the focus of your one track mind is Krishna, then everything happens. You know the number of that verse? What is it? Chapter 2 text? 41. You should memorize that number. Ekeha Kurunandana. You should read the purport to that verse. In the purport to that verse, Prabhupada defines the word Shraddha. He quotes Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says, Shraddha Shabde, Vishwasa ko hoy, Shudra Nishchoy, Krishna Bhakti koile, Sarva Karma Krita hoy. This is the definition of Shraddha. If I do Krishna Bhakti, everything else takes place. I don't need to worry about anything else. This is called Shraddha. And Prabhupada defines Shraddha by the word intelligence. There is one-pointed intelligence. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Normally we think Shraddha is one thing, intelligence is the opposite. Shraddha means you throw your intelligence, you just blindly. No. Shraddha is the culmination of properly applied intelligence. if you bet on Krishna, because we're always betting on something. Trust me, whether you believe it or not, you're betting on your ability to do this, or your talent to do that, or your connections for this. You're always betting on something for an outcome. But if you put all your chips on Krishna, then everything gets taken care of. Shraddha Shraddha, Vishwas Kahe, Shuddh Dhrida Nishchaya. You understand these words, very simple words. Krishna Bhakti Kaile, Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. If you do Krishna Bhakti, everything gets taken care of. We cannot allow our fragments of ourselves to be scattered. When the scattered fragments begin to come together, we become whole persons, integrated persons. That's where the word integrity comes from. Speech becomes purer because it serves the sacred center. Action becomes stronger because it is not divided by our vanity, by our ego. And intelligence becomes clearer because it's not constantly defending our ego. When we keep defending our ego, the intelligence gets tired and cloudy. That's not who we are. It's a false basis. And when we have integrity, like Hanuman, emotion becomes deeper, genuine, because it is offered, not merely indulged. You offer something to Krishna. You're not indulging in emotion. My Lord, I have these feelings. They are yours. How can you offer feelings to Krishna? You can. And think about the Lord. You can be grateful. That's a feeling. Even if you're feeling remorseful, that's a feeling. Regretful, that's a feeling. You can offer all our feelings. Joyful, sad, everything you can offer to Krishna. Then you're not indulging in it, you make an offering. Encyclopedia Britannica describes Hanumanji as a commander of the monkey army, whose exploits are narrated in the Ramayana. And that encyclopedia explicitly says that he's upheld as a model for all human devotion. He's not even human. That is why devotees love him so deeply. He's lovable. He shows what happens when bhakti becomes character. Not just sentiment, character. Not just excitement, not just occasional inspiration. Character. Character is something you are right now, all the time. So if Ram teaches principle, Bharat teaches purity, Vibhishan teaches conscience, and Hanuman shows us the secret that holds everything together. What is that secret? Loving devotional service, pure bhakti. A person centered in service becomes less divided. And that may be the deepest answer to our entire theme of integrity. The highest integrity is not self-manufactured moral perfection. The highest integrity is a life unified by devotion, because everything is organic, everything is natural, the soul is in natural situation, and you don't need to think too much. If you follow the principles of bhakti, Krishna Bhakti Kaile, Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. Put all your eggs in one basket of Krishna. We don't do eggs on it. Right? You bet everything on Krishna. Everything else is taken care of. So, what does integrity look like for students and professionals in New York City? Let's now turn from this epic to a direct application for us. How many are students here? Oh, quite a few. Okay, great. All right. And professionals working? Great, awesome. So that's everybody else. And then, of course, devotees as well. So what does it look like for college students in Brooklyn or any other, in New York or anywhere else? Any intense academic, social environment? First, it means honesty. Honesty in places where dishonesty is very casually normalized. That includes academics, of course, but not only academics, of course, professional work as well. It includes emotional honesty, social honesty, and honesty about one's motives. Second, integrity means refusing a double life. I'm tired of this double life, gosh. Many students feel a quiet split. There's one self in the devotional spaces like this, another self with our secular friends, another self online, another self alone at night. That fragmentation drains our strength. Become one. The goal is not to become socially awkward or preachy. The goal is to become inwardly consistent. 99% is very difficult. 100% is very easy. Don't let that 1%, okay, I'll allow myself to be devoting 99% to the Lord. That 1% makes your life miserable. It's very difficult. Many of us struggle with that and drag that along with us. 100% is very easy, it's a breeze, because now everything is integrated. Everything is focused on the Lord. The Lord helps us become inwardly consistent. Third, integrity means making choices in relationships that respect truth, not only intensity. Some of the most painful compromises in student life or young life and professional life happen not because people are evil, no, but because they're lonely. Because they feel flattered or desired or afraid of missing out or afraid of being left behind. In those moments, our values can unfortunately become negotiable. We will not negotiate on our values. That's called integrity. It's not that difficult, you just be peaceful. Avoid those mental spaces, those trains of thought, where our values are on the line. The Ramayana reminds us that affection without discernment becomes dangerous. Remember the golden deer story? That applies to relationships. So we have to be careful. Fourth, integrity means thinking carefully about success. How to define success? College culture, for example, can make it seem as though your worth depends on outcome. Internships, acceptance, resume lines, popularity, beauty, influence, constant progress, constant improvement. Yes, we want all that, sure. But if success pulls you away even a little bit from honesty, even a little bit from clarity, away from sadhana, your connection with God, or away from respect for others, or it pulls you away from any of these great virtues, then it is too expensive. Your success is too expensive. Your success is a failure, because now you have lost your integrity. If you gain a future that is marked by inner erosion, it's not a blessed future. Yes, some people go to the nth degree and become successful, but they cannot look themselves in the mirror. It'll be gold-tinted mirror, but you can't look at yourself. You'll be sick of yourself. And other people spit at you from behind. They'll smile at you in the front. You don't want to be that person. So, for students and for professionals, the practical challenge is not to escape the world, but to stop letting the world fragment you. You can study seriously, build friendships, prepare for a career. You have to do all these things. Move through a city like Brooklyn with full engagement, no problem. But the inward question remains. Am I becoming one person? A person who can be trusted by teachers, by friends, by devotees, by my own conscience. That is what integrity looks like in student and professional life. What about devotees? What about devotees? Same question, practicing devotees. Main answers, keep yourself honest, same thing. You don't want to build a fake spiritual self. Very easy to do. You know who can see right through that? Is kids. Like, what's wrong with this guy? Kids are very sensitive. They somehow can see, fakeness. Then somehow that talent goes away when they get older. Spiritual communities have their own form of pressure. It's not without pressure, you all know that. You may want to look steady, advanced, detached, surrendered. You want to look pure. It's fine. But if those appearances run ahead of our actual condition, then we begin to live life defensively, and defensive life is very tiring, rather than honestly. So integrity in spiritual life means that I don't need to advertise what I'm not. I can be sincere without being impressive. I don't need to be impressive. I just do my seva, let's say. I can be in a process without being hypocritical, provided I remain honest and committed to growth. I want to grow. But in Kali Yuga, it's the age of two things, quarrel and hypocrisy. So hypocrisy is very easy to slip into. But we'll feel very uncomfortable in it. So, it's better to have honest humility than a polished pretense. See? So integrity means keeping sadhana honest and steady. Dramatic inconsistent doesn't help you too much. Yeah, it feels good, but keep it steady. Another point is that we don't want to weaponize our spiritual language. We don't want to use our philosophy to become a shield for our ego, because our philosophy is very sophisticated and you can use it for all kinds of things. Krishna conscious philosophy is so deep and so sophisticated. It's like a Swiss Army knife. You can do a lot of damage with it if you use the wrong place. You can quote, you can correct, you can advise, you can criticize, all without love, and you'll have all the Sanskrit perfect. Don't weaponize the Sanskrit, please. You can use devotional vocabulary to avoid the very essential vulnerability that you need to grow, or to project superiority. That is not integrity. Real bhakti softens the heart. Even while it sharpens our ability to discern. Soften the heart, but sharpen your smartness. Yes, that's what bhakti does. See? So, of course, we treat service as service, not as a route to our ego nourishment. And of course, when we're having weakness, we're going to work on that early before the hidden compromises become a pattern. We want to be integrated devotees, chanting with depth. So, 3 practices that you can do to build integrity. Daily truthfulness with yourself. Look in the mirror every morning. You look in the mirror anyway. This is an opportunity while you're brushing your teeth. What do I need to work on for my truthfulness? The cool thing about integrity is it can be built through repeated practices. Brush your teeth, what you're spitting out. Imagine you're spitting out also this negativity and spit that also. And then rinse your mouth and. Okay? Second, good association. Find friends, associate friends who are progressive. I'm seeing here a lot of progressive energy. I'm just amazed how much everybody here is so progressive. Everybody wants to be devotees, better devotees. We become normal to the company we keep. If you spend time with people who are constantly rationalizing compromises, then our own standards become compromised, becomes blurred. Good association doesn't mean finding perfect people. No. It means being around people who want to be honest. That is a perfection. Who want to move forward every day. So I call it progressive devotee, you see. And third, anchor your whole process in the higher purpose. What is the higher purpose? It's not morality. Morality can collapse under its own pressure. It's a deeper center of Krishna. When I remember that my life is meant for service, to serve the Lord, to serve the devotees. It's meant for purification of my existence, for loving connection with the divine. Then these compromises that look so enormous begin to look very small. Because bhakti gives weight, gravity to our values. Because you have something to work for. You have a goal, the lotus feet of Krishna. So these are simple practices, but they're very profound. Honest reflection, good association, higher purpose. If we repeat them steadily, then integrity stops being an ideal, abstract kind of thing. It becomes a habit of being. So I'm going to close. No, don't worry. Eventually I have to close, right? There's a challenge for you for the week. Not for the whole life, just for the week. And keep it easy. Ask yourself these questions. Where is my life most misaligned now, right now? What am I rationalizing, even though I probably know better? I shouldn't be doing this particular thing. What relationship or habit or environment weakens my conscience? What one concrete change this week would bring me back into alignment? What can I do concretely, measurably this week? Today is Saturday. By next Saturday, I should be able to do something. Don't aim for dramatic reinvention. Just aim for one step, one truthful step. That's it. One only. Could be a small one also. Reflect on this. The challenge is to become truthful. That is enough to begin. One truthful step taken sincerely is more powerful than 1,000 admirable intentions. Intentions are good, but the step is really what matters. So, central message of the evening. The Ramayana does not promise us an uncomplicated life. In fact, I can pretty much promise you a complicated life. But it offers something better. It offers examples of how to remain noble. It's an opportunity for us to be noble. How to be truthful. How to be courageous. And spiritually grounded in the middle of complication. Let us protect our flame of integrity and make it an offering to the Lord. Let every day be Diwali to welcome the Lord into our hearts. On Diwali day, the Lord comes down by flight. It's a night flight, red eye. It's flying in Pushpak Viman. And there's no moon, by the way. That's Diwali night, there's no moon. It's a moonless night, if you know. It's Amavas, basically. Amavasya. So then, the runways for the flight to land are lined with these billions of them in Ayodhya. Let us line the runway of our dark hearts with these deeps of offering to the Lord and welcome the Lord. My Lord, come. I know it's dark, but look, I've put these diyas in my heart. You please come and land in my heart with your Pushpak Viman. So, if you remember only one line from tonight, let it be this. The world may remain complicated, but your soul does not have to remain divided. It can be one. Through honesty, discernment, courage, good association, devotion, all these, integrity becomes possible. Not because we become flawless, but because we stop giving in to fragmentation. So think, which characters today we talked about, which character's integrity speaks to you most right now? Think about it. Where do you most feel the tension between the values, the pressure? If this class has done its work, it's not merely given information, it has opened a doorway to a more integrated life. So thank you very much for your kind attention and your valuable time. Please join me in chanting. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Can we take a few questions?
Please, of course. Yes.
We have room. We have time for next 10 minutes for any questions if we have any. So, yes. This one? Okay. Please pass the mic to the very back.
Yeah, it's
Hello?
just booting up. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Namaskar. Sir.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. So we keep hearing through spiritual gurus like Hanuma is a form of Lord Shiva. So how does it? I mean, like both of them from different yugas, right? I mean, like Hanuma is part of Ramayana. So, but we keep hearing through spiritual gurus, through social media. Otherwise, like recently, like it's been more like Hanuma is the form of Shiva. Shiva is Hanuma. Hanuma is Shiva. So how is that related? I mean, like Hanuma is Hanuma only, right? And is part of Ramayana.
Yes, it's a good question. Sometimes it can be very confusing because we do hear this. In our scriptures, we do learn. Now, Lord Shiva, just like Lord Vishnu has many forms, you might have heard there are different Vishnus also. There are different expansions of Vishnu. And of course, different avatars of Vishnu. You might have heard of Dash Avatar Vishnu, different avatars are there. So Lord Shiva is also known to have different expansions. Because he's also in the category basically of God. He's not Jiva like us. So because he's basically a Godhead category, he can also have incarnations and expansions. So he's known to have 11 primary Rudras. One of Lord Shiva's name is Rudra. Rudra means one who cries very loudly, because when he was born, he was crying very loudly. Like Krishna is also born, so Shiva is also born. Story of how Lord Shiva is born. Anyway, so one of the 11 Rudras takes the form of Hanuman. So we do accept Hanumanji as the expansion of Lord Shiva. That's how we understand it. We see what we get from the Shastra. We don't base these conclusions on modern speculation or even folk tales. It has to be based on Shastras, scriptures. So some Puranas define it this way. It's sweet. It's definitely doable. Plus, because Lord Shiva is an eternal being, so he crosses across different yugas. He takes part in all kinds of leelas. Lord Shiva also takes part in Lord Krishna's Rasa Leela. It's the whole story of that. Lord Shiva personally comes. So there's no, for someone like Krishna and Ram and Shiva, there's no bar when they can come, how they show up, how they interact with each other. They're very, very close to each other. Actually, Shiva and Hari are very close to each other. So that's something interesting, that Lord Shiva is in the scriptures defined as Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Among all the Vaishnavas, the greatest Vaishnava means the greatest worshipper of Vishnu is Shambhu. So Shambhu is a worshipper of Vishnu. So then when Shambhu comes as Hanuman, who is a worshipper of Ram, it's no problem there. Like Lakshmi is a worshipper of Narayan. Lakshmi comes as Sita, Narayan comes as Ram. It's like that. So Hanumanji appears, he's understood as a partial incarnation of Shiva or complete incarnation. But this is nice, it's a good question, because you get to see how the different forms of the Lord and his great devotees sometimes put on different clothes. It's like, when two people love each other and they go out, they wear different clothes sometimes, they do different kind of dances and things like that. A variety. So similarly, he takes the form of Hanuman, he takes the form of Lord Shiva, sometimes he takes the form of a gopi. He dances in the... Yeah. Gopishwar Mahadev guards 4 places in Vrindavan. He guards the entire Vrindavan. But he also takes the form of a gopi. And and dances, and it's pretty interesting. So these are very nice things to talk about. It's a very good question. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Right. Anybody has any comments or questions? Yes, please. You can use it. Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to ask you, like, we were talking about integrity in our professional life as well, how to maintain integrity and stuff. But there can be cases where sometimes, like, we have to give up for the politics in the corporate world. Like, how do we deal with such kind of situations? Like, I can give an example, like, let's say in a team of 10 members, like the manager has to, like, let go of 2 people, right? And for some reason one of the person happens to get to know about that information sooner, so he makes his plans and he just takes, like, looks after himself and moves to a different team. Like, now I know that they are planning to let go of 2 people. I chose to be selfish, found a new job in a different team, and I moved. I could have told the other person as well, like, there is one more person that is going to be impacted. Now, should I be looking after for myself, or should I be, like, stick to my integrity and let everyone know that this is going to happen, so please cover your bases? Like, how do we deal with such kind of situations?
Yeah, no, this is exactly the kind of dilemmas that we have to live in the world, 100%. And this is where we need to reflect deeply and pray to the Lord. My Lord, this is very difficult for me. Give me some sign. I've had these issues myself. And it's not always been a clear answer, because sometimes it's a matter of survival. You see, it's a matter of survival where, okay, you happen to know that it's coming to you. Is it, in the name of honesty, essential for you to now reveal what you came to know? And if you did reveal it, would it destroy your chances of saving yourself? Right? It may or may not. May or may not. For sure. May not. So we have to be definitely, now if that person is a very close friend of yours, suppose, really, really close, would it change things? Maybe. You'd be crushed, especially if you found out that you knew. You see? So I'm not saying there's a clear-cut answer. There is, the matter of integrity is there. Integrity means being dishonest to the detriment of somebody else. Now, in your particular case, if you took advantage of that extra knowledge, it won't make a difference to the other person who's going to let go anyway, would it? Probably not. So, in that sense, it won't really matter. Also, our scriptures do explain that there is certain leeway in business. Certain leeway. As long as you're doing minimal damage. Like, for example, it's okay to lie when you're selling. Prabhupada gives examples. You might have seen this. That the bangle shopkeeper is selling bangles, and some lady comes, buys bangles. Oh, for you, Mataji, no profit. Today, I'm giving you without zero profit, just at cost. He's making 300% profit. But, he'll give discount or something like that. He's completely lying, but it's a harmless lie. Oh, good, you're giving discount. Yeah, instead of 500 rupees, I give you for 450. But he bought it for 20 rupees. So, it's fine. She's willing to pay, it's okay. So, you cannot be a shopkeeper and have that level of integrity. You see, you cannot sell for 20 rupees if you can sell for 450. So similarly, you have to evaluate if it's going to be really hurt somebody else's life. Now, some people, when they lose their jobs, they end up jumping off a bridge. How would you feel if the guy jumped off a bridge and you could have prevented it? Right. So, but in this case, I don't think that's the case. Right. So you have to evaluate all these things. I've seen it happen. I've worked in this professional world here for 27 years. I know what it's like. I've been pushed out. I've been, working in the financial industry is not easy. Financial technology, I think most of you are probably either in finance or technology or some. I'm in tech as well. And some places have been quite relatively free of politics, and some places it's all politics, no technology. It's an IT department, but it's only politics. Nobody's doing any technology in there. And so then those you don't feel comfortable there at all. Yeah. So you do have to evaluate. And every scenario is different, and the devil is in the details. Okay, so you have to go deep. But if you look at the principle of integrity we covered today, is it going to be very hurtful to other people? Is it going to cost them their livelihoods, their lives? At what cost? Is there a third option? Is it a false dichotomy that I put myself in? There's only this or this, there's no third option. Maybe there's 3 or 4 other options. Some could be win-win situations if I evaluated everything. Have I given priority to thinking with integrity? Which I'm sure you have. I'm not saying you haven't, but we should really evaluate all these options. But there's also Chacha Apan Pran Bacha. You know that line? Uncle, save your own life, Save your life first. You have to survive also. Right? You don't have to shoot yourself just because someone else will feel bad that you knew. So you have to be careful of that. But we're living in the world, we have to survive too. But if you cannot look yourself in the mirror, then you went wrong.
Thank you.
These are very difficult questions. They're not easy questions. I'm not saying. I had a similar scenario. I didn't know what to do. I opened Srimad Bhagavatam randomly. I pulled random book out, opened it, and the episode was exact same scenario that I was in. Exact same. And I knew exactly what to do, and after that, I just did what Lord Shiva did in there, everything was fine. I would tell you what the episode was, but I'm just leave it at that. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So, can we draw a parallel of this situation with during the Kurukshetra war when Krishna was hiding the sun, so that it can weaken the army of the other side, right? So that they feel that they were manipulated. The Kauravas, or that why is he cheating in the battlefield? But that the purpose is for the greater good, because if the Pandavas lose, then the Kauravas will take over. Doing a small damage, or it was a form of concealing, right? So it was a form of cheating in the war, but it was serving the greater good. So
it was to save Arjuna's life, actually.
Arjuna's life.
Arjuna had made a promise that if I don't kill Jayadratha by tonight, I'm going to jump in the fire and kill myself. It was really to save Arjuna's life. And Krishna said, Arjuna, you got to stop making these promises. It wasn't for any other purpose. So the higher purpose of Arjuna's life, Jayadratha had to go anyway. It was a particularly difficult situation, because if anybody who it said if you make Jayadratha's head fall, his own head will break into 7 pieces.
Right.
That's pretty crazy. So pretty far out. We have to be careful when applying these analogies to our life.
Right.
Because we always think we are the Pandavas. Maybe we are the Kauravas. We have to be very careful when justifying bad behavior or wrong behavior or manipulation. That's why I have to look at, the devil is always in the details, like I said. In that particular case, Krishna did it to save Arjuna's life. Not for the greater good, of course, that's the greater good, but save Arjuna's life because Arjuna had made a foolish move. Took the vow. But we cannot then use certain things that Krishna did as justification for manipulation ourselves. See, we cannot block out the sun or do some, reset the time on your server to make the the sun is already set or whatever, and to do something illegal. You can't do that. You have to be careful. So you have to see, what am I justifying? Evaluate very deeply. What is the end purpose of my justification of this cheating move? See, we have to be known for being thoroughly honest. We meaning devotees. There are business owners in New York who are very happy to do business with Hare Krishna devotees. They will not do business with other people, like big real estate business or something. They'll only do with devotees. I know such people. Now, why does this guy do it? Even though devotees sometimes mess up big time, royally. They're not expertly trained or anything, but still he keeps trusting the devotees because he knows these people have integrity. So now if I go as a devotee and there's everything nice, and then I do something that just kills the image, and I do something cheating, that guy will stop trusting all devotees because of me. So we have to be known for being thoroughly honest, like have next level of expectation. You see? I mean, that's one of the things that we do. We as devotees are held at such a high bar. You know, it's true. Like sometimes people say, "Oh, you've been devotee for 3 years. You get so angry so easily. What kind of devotee are you?" You heard that, no?
Yeah.
What kind of Hare Krishna are you? You get angry. People expect you should be free from anger by now. Similarly, people expect they hold you at a higher standard. So being a devotee is not easy. So we have to live up to it. So that's what I can offer. Hare Krishna.
Can we have a huge round of applause for the class? Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a class filled with practical applications. And you began the class saying that Srila Prabhupada never compromised with the philosophy, and so did you. You presented the philosophy and also gave many practical applications for all of us. I'm sure all my friends here, we are gonna take those points and apply it in our lives, and hope to be little more, live with integrity in this chaotic world. As an offering of gratitude, I would like to welcome His Grace Sri Gopal Pran Prabhu and His Grace Hansarupa Prabhu to present you a small token of gift that we have for you.
Oh, Hare Krishna! Wow.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hansarupa Prabhu.
Is everybody enjoying the atmosphere?
Hare Krishna.
Let's go to this, keep this in the way we can be down, Pavilion. Bye, Shivayo Namo Namaha. Madana-gopāla Prabhu ki.
Jai.
So we'd like to present Madana-gopāla Prabhu. You have to hold the microphone. Beautiful dressing by Sri Radha Govinda, by our very own Sri Gopal Pran Prabhu. This is his unique style. He brought it with him all the way from Pune.
Thank you so much. Wow, this is just mind blowing. Thank you.
Well, we're very happy to be able to give you some remembrance while you're here in New York. We take some Radha Govinda with you wherever you go. Of course, you can always just take a photo and put it on your phone.
Yes.
This is a very nice, thoughtful gift from the boys.
Very thoughtful.
Okay, they wanted you to have it.
Very beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, any other? And what else?
Oh,
is
a
our-
calendar.
Our 2026 calendar.
Jai Ho, thank you so much.
Yes. There's so many things going on this year. 2026 is a very big year. We're happy to have you and happy to have everybody joining us. This is the 60th anniversary of the incorporation of ISKCON, 1966 to 2026. So 60 years ago, Srila Prabhupada first came, actually one of the gentlemen who helped him, R.V. Cohen, just passed away 2 days
Yeah,
ago.
I saw that, yes.
You must have seen that
Yeah.
ad. But anyway, we're all getting old, but Hare Krishna ISKCON will continue with all this nice young generation here. So it's all on your shoulders now, okay, to carry on the work that Srila Prabhupada brought with him in 1965. I was just, maybe you should take them to the museum downstairs, let them take a walk through it. I was just there meditating on how Srila Prabhupada was sitting at this desk, his original desk, and translating Srimad Bhagavatam. The original Bhagavatam is there in the display case. Gorakhpur, 1952 edition of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very nice. So he was using that very patiently and painstakingly, translating every word using the dictaphone. And of course, now everyone can see what has transpired in New York and all over the world. And everything started right here from New York City. So we're happy to have you on the journey. Please stay with us. If there's any questions, you can approach anybody here and they will help you.
Announcement for the Rath Yatra also.
Rath Yatra, this is also the 50th anniversary of the culmination of Srila Prabhupada's preaching at that time. So from 1966 to 1976, that 10-year gap, Prabhupada had established over 108 temples and Rath Yatra in every major city. and especially in New York City, on Fifth Avenue. So Prabhupada called New York City the most important city in the world, and Fifth Avenue the most important street in the most important city in the world. So we'll be doing, recreating that. We've done it every year, but this is the 50th anniversary, so very special. And we're bringing the original cart that Srila Prabhupada rode on. It's currently being renovated. It's the last cart in existence that Prabhupada actually rode on. So it's in Alachua right now. It's been stored there for many years. We had to, it's completely disassembled. We're in the process of renovating it, and hopefully everything should be done in time. But it's the old style, all wood. Wheels are wood, everything is wood. So anyway, you'll get a chance to see it June 13th. Don't miss it. Write it down on your calendar. June 13th. And it, of course, big festivals here also. It's a 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There'll be tours. We'll have a double-decker open-top bus. They'll be taking everybody, Prabhupada Leelamrita tour. So hosted by His Grace, well, narrated by Ram Roy Prabhu, who is the Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita personified. Because he has memorized basically everything in there. So he doesn't even need to refer to anything. He has given this tour many times. So you'll get a chance to go all over New York City and follow in Prabhupada's footsteps. So please make a point to stay in touch so that you, when the tickets open, you get your chance. So all these things there, very, very competitive seating. So don't delay. Any other questions, of course? Thank you very much for coming. Very nice to have Prabhu here. And everybody knows who Prabhu is, right? Okay, just want to make sure. Okay. You don't have to know who I am. I'm just a rascal. But somehow or other, Prabhupada saved us. So that's that. We're his rascals. That's the point. Like that. Any other questions or comments? Anybody? Good. So we'll expect to see you on June 13th. And of course, there's how many more monthly secretaries? So this is March, so 2 more before then.
April and May.
Okay, so good. Keep in touch. Thank you very much. We're trying to make, I hope everybody enjoys this. We had to renovate this area completely. It was all totally destroyed. Still some leaks, but we're working on those. But this whole room was shut down for 40 years. Totally just unfortunate. And then we put in these beautiful windows. Restored it back to 1927 glory. This is building built in 1927.
Can we express our gratitude to His Grace Ansurupa Prabhu by loudly chanting
Even a deaf man could.
So before we move to the next segment of our program, I would like to make some quick announcements. First of all, huge thanks to all of you for showing up in great numbers with great enthusiasm, asking so many questions, and being present with us in doing the program. How many of you liked the session? Hey, that's a pretty huge number. So, a few announcements. How many of you are from New Jersey, Jersey City area? So if you are from Jersey City, we do a program every Saturday at